the manager pulled me in her office an hour into my shift and I was being terminated effective immediately. Hello, my friends, and welcome. Can you imagine being fired as a new grad after 2 weeks? 2 weeks? 2 weeks? I was lurking the forums on allnurses.com and found this post about this new grad who was fired after 2 weeks. I also ran into an article about 5 tips to be more likable. All right, without further ado, let's just get right to it. So this article is on the website allnurses.com. There's a column called Ask Nurse Beth, Career Advice. The article's called I Was Fired, ... for being abrasive and having attitude. So I'm just gonna read the article and I'll make some comments as we go along. Just to get my point across, I might have edited some words out, but you can find the full video in the description below. So my passion all throughout nursing school was to become an ED nurse. I had my preceptorship in the ED and actually ended up becoming good friends with my preceptor. I landed a job at a hospital 30 to 40 minutes away from my home, and while I had never been to this hospital before, it was farther away from another hospital that I had been offered a job at, but I was determined to do ED. Hey, this person wanted to do ED and they're totally going for it. Totally respect that. My first week was overwhelming. However, I felt like I was catching on to everything very well. I can't even imagine being a new grad in the emergency department. Sounds super overwhelming. I thought I was getting along with everyone and tried so hard to make friends because this has always been a struggle of mine because I have always been told that I have a big personality. Mid-second week, my preceptor pulls me aside and tells me I've had complaints that I have an attitude problem and am argumentative when others try to help. He did not have any specific examples, and I was baffled, hurt, and felt so bad that I had made this impression. I cried and apologized to him, and he hugged me, saying he just wanted to help and he thought I was doing great, but to just work on how I speak with others, and that it was just something I was going to have to improve on. For those of you who don't know, a preceptor is like your Yoda, someone who guides you through your new grad orientation. If you don't know who Yoda is, then I don't know what to tell you. Yoda's from Star Wars. He's like a teacher. Each new grad is usually paired with a teacher or a Yoda to help them transition and to orient them and teach them how to be a nurse. So this new grad is getting some feedback from his or her preceptor, so that's good. Let's see what they decide to do with it. He even called me after saying, I don't want you to take this personally. I want you to take it in, grow from it, and keep moving. I walked away from the conversation thinking this was just a hiccup and that I would become more comfortable within a few more weeks. And I just need to find my footing with this group of people. Okay, obviously the preceptor was seeing something that needed to be corrected, so he had a conversation with the new grad. Very common. I thought that this meeting was to tell me, hey, this is what you need to improve on, and that I would have the rest of my orientation to improve myself. That's what it sounds like right now. I felt that maybe my anxiety was getting the best of me and making me come off as argumentative with the staff when truly I was just nervous and unable to communicate when I was struggling with a certain task. So yes, I've seen this all the time. People get very anxious and panic when they're struggling with certain tasks and they forget how they are coming across. So this is very common. I don't blame her. When people are put in high stakes situations, especially in the emergency department, they kind of forget how they're coming off, how their personality is coming across to other people. And a lot of times personalities can become very toxic or abrasive. I worked 2 more shifts after that and tried my hardest to watch how I was speaking to others. So this is good. The new grad was told something and they're trying to be more aware of how they're coming off. After that conversation though, I suddenly was seeing myself never quite fitting in with this team. I was not nearly as excited to be in this ER or even work at this hospital the way I was during my preceptorship. That's just a terrible feeling to have. I think a lot of that is in this person's head. This person just being too hard on themselves. My first day back on my 3rd week, the manager pulled me in her office an hour into my shift and told me my communication skills were not what they were looking for, that I was not a good fit for their team, and I was being terminated effective immediately. My heart sank. Wow, that was really sudden. 3rd week. If a nurse works 3 times a week, 12-hour shifts, that means after 6 shifts, this person was fired. That's a very short amount of time. My heart would sink too. My old preceptor from school, who I'd become friends with, was shocked that they did not give me more time. I'm shocked they didn't give her more time either. I want to be angry and blame them that they were not welcoming enough and being a bit harsh on me. But I want to learn from this experience and acknowledge my mistakes because I know I cannot walk away from this having learned nothing. So it sounds like this person has a growth mindset mentality, which is good, and she wants to be angry and blame them. That's very common. I would feel that way too. However, I am suddenly doubting my decision to go into nursing. That makes me really sad. I am confused that they brought a problem to my attention last week, told me to improve on it, and that they would help me, and then fired me the following week for that problem. I thought I would have more time to improve myself, but I guess my problems were much bigger than I thought. So all we know is what this person is writing to us. I don't know how argumentative or how abrasive this new grad was. I mean, 3 weeks is very, very short. This person must have really had a problem, or this hospital just won't put up with it. I'm still trying to understand exactly what I did wrong so I can improve myself, but my confidence is shattered, and they frankly did not give me much explanation or examples on why they had this impression that I was argumentative, quote unquote, on argumentative. The only thing was that my preceptor told me when someone says something to me or tries to help me that I should just smile and say, yes, okay, I understand, instead of explaining why I'm doing something the way I am doing it. I almost feel like I was fired because I did not brown nose the nurses the way the other new grads or hires were. You don't have to brown nose the nurses, just be professional. Although you will see those brown nosers. I'm not a brown noser. Maybe a little brown. It seems like this person was being given constructive criticism and they might have just been brushing it off. Whenever you're getting constructive criticism, whether you're a new grad or an experienced nurse, you have to be open to it because people might just be trying to help you. People are giving you constructive criticism and you just brush it off with an attitude like you already know everything. You're not going to be a very good person to work with. Plus, even if you're a new grad or someone who's been working for 20 years, I think we can all agree that we all have something to learn still. The older people get in nursing years, the harder it is to give them constructive criticism. This mentality of, oh, I have X amount of years of experience, I don't need to know anything else, I think it's very, very, very detrimental to our profession. So I challenge you, the next time someone's trying to give you constructive criticism, try to take a moment to see how you're taking in that constructive criticism. Are you giving them attitude? Are you accepting it? Are you thanking them? Try to just take that constructive criticism gracefully. People are just trying to help you. At the end of the day, we're all just trying to be better nurses for our patients. I'm confused and scared to try to go back to working at a hospital because I am afraid I will make the same mistakes. Totally normal to feel confused. You just got fired as a new grad. Totally normal to feel scared. I think these are normal fears, but you should still go back, and if you want to work at a hospital, try to work at a hospital. This is a little setback. I am afraid I will make the same mistakes. Well, try not to make the same mistakes, right? I feel like my personality tends to make a large and longer lasting impression on others, and I can be charismatic and flamboyant, but end up being not everyone's favorite to be around. I think if you know how everyone feels when you're being around, I think you should try to change it, right? Awareness is key here. If you know how people are acting with your presence and you don't like how you're being received, then to me, the only thing you could do is change yourself. I have no filter when in my comfort zone, and I will tell you exactly what I think and why. However, I guess that causes me to come across as abrasive, but without the intention of being insulting. I have no filter when I'm in my comfort zone. I hear this all the time. People say, I'll tell you exactly how I feel. Yes, you can be honest with me. Tell me exactly what you feel. Tell me what you're thinking. The way you say it also matters. And no filter when in your comfort zone, I think we need to have a filter. If you're just saying everything that comes into your mind without thinking about it first, then you're not really using your brain. If you have no filter, that means you're just saying whatever comes to your mind. You're not really thinking about how you're communicating with others. The orientation was supposed to be 12 weeks and I couldn't even get through 3 weeks. So I really feel like 3 weeks was just too short of a time. I scribed and charted a cardiac arrest, my second to last day of work perfectly, and constantly thank others when they taught me something. Kind of bothers me she said perfectly on charting. As a second week new grad, you're perfect charting? Maybe. I'm trying to figure out if I really just am a person with an attitude problem, or maybe this unit and set of people was just not a good fit for me. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Maybe this unit isn't going to put up with abrasive people, isn't going to put up with bad attitudes. That's a possibility. And maybe this person just has a huge attitude problem, and maybe it's a combination of both which caused this person to be terminated. It's really hard to tell with just a limited amount of information. There's always several versions of the truth. I'm just lost and disappointed in myself and wishing I could have showed them the best side of myself, but somehow I feel like I wasn't given a chance to do that or even fix my mistakes. I wouldn't wish this upon anyone being fired in their first 3 weeks. Is 3 weeks too early to fire someone? Do you think this ER fired this person too quickly? Do you think this person's attitude problem was that bad? Let me know in the comment section below. What are some lessons we can take away from this story? I don't want any of you to be fired for being too abrasive or having an attitude problem. Takeaways: awareness. Always be aware of how you're acting. You'll always want to know what message it is you're sending to others, because if you send the wrong message, it could spell trouble for your career. Sometimes events will happen that don't go in our favor, and they will suck. When these events happen, we'll have some some emotions, which is totally normal, but it's what we do with these emotions and it's what we do after that will determine our growth and our happiness. So I'll share something about myself. I failed nursing school for 1 year and it was the worst feeling at that time ever. I remember thinking to myself, will I let this define me or I will come back and ace nursing school? And that was the goal, to ace nursing school. And every day I would show up to school and try to get straight A's. I ended up not getting straight A's, but that was the goal anyways. But the point is, I failed nursing school and I came right back and still graduated. Before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, please press the like button. Hit that subscribe button if you want more content on how to be more charming. I ran into this article on Inc.com and I thought it tied into the episode very nicely. The title of the article is called "Here's How to Make People Like You in as Little as 5 Minutes." Since I want you all to be charming, I thought this was a perfect article to share with you. If you want to read the full article, I've included the link in the description below. Number 1, be interested, not interesting. Be genuinely interested in other people. Don't just try to talk about yourself because you think you're interesting. It's not about you when it comes to being likable. It's about the other person. If you're not interested in anyone else and you're only interested in yourself, you might need to look up the definition of narcissistic. Number 2, listen first and talk second. We hear this all the time. Listen, listen, listen. You always just want to listen to the other person. You always want to let them talk first before you talk. Make it about other people first. It's not about you. It's about the patient, right? So listen to them. Listen to other people. Number 3, synchronize yourself. Whatever situation you're in, adapt your mood, your behavior, and your personality depending on your surroundings. Be a social chameleon. 4, smile like you're actually happy. You want to be more charming, just smile. And some people will complain and say they have RBF. If you don't know what RBF is, look it up on Urban Dictionary. Smile. It's not that hard to smile. There's these studies about if you smile, you actually end up being more happy. So just smile. 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 Talk less, smile more. In the play Hamilton, there's actually this line called "talk less, smile more." That's actually great advice to follow. The 5th thing on this list is give them 10% more. Try to give 10% more energy. If you feel like you can give a little bit more, give 10% more energy. Just give a little bit more. Try your best to give 10% more than anyone else during that day. It's going to be a challenge, but this will make you be more likable and this will help you be more charming. So I want to know what you all think about this article. Do you agree with these 5 things? Do you disagree with these 5 things? Do you have other tips and strategies to make you more likable or charming? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you learned something from this video. In closing, be more aware of how you're presenting yourself to the world and talk less, smile more. Till next time, peace.